As we step into this chapter, I want you to imagine a fire within you, a relentless hunger that refuses to be tamed, a desire that pushes you beyond the comfort of mediocrity and into the realm of greatness. The essence of this book, You Have to Stay Hungry, is not just about ambition, CHIPTR1. From the very moment you open your eyes each morning, the world presents you with a choice: to remain passive, to drift along with the current, or to ignite a fire within yourself that refuses to be tamed, a fire that pushes you to chase more, to reach higher, and to break through every limitation that life has imposed or that you have accepted. The essence of staying hungry begins with a mindset that understands nothing of value is handed freely, that every ounce of progress, every measure of success, is earned through deliberate action, unrelenting effort, and the courage to step beyond comfort. Hunger is not merely a desire for wealth, recognition, or superficial achievement. It is a deeper, more primal drive that compels you to grow, to evolve, and to demand the absolute best version of yourself in every area of your life. It is the fire that separates dreamers from doers, the talking from the acting, the wishing from the achieving. Those who cultivate hunger within themselves understand that comfort is the silent killer of potential, that the moment you accept the familiar, the easy, and the safe, you begin to erode the very foundation of the extraordinary life you were meant to live. Staying hungry means understanding that yesterday's accomplishments are not trophies to rest upon, but stepping stones that remind you of what you are capable of and what you can still achieve if you refuse to settle. Every action you take, no matter how small, compounds over time, and a person who is truly hungry never underestimates the power of consistent effort, of small victories that accumulate into monumental success. Hunger is cultivated through persistence, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to moving forward, even when the path is steep, unclear, or seemingly impossible. It is strengthened in the face of failure, because those who are hungry do not view setbacks as reasons to quit, but as lessons that sharpen their skills, teach them patience, and fortify their resolve. The hungry person knows that life will constantly challenge them, that obstacles will appear where they are least expected, and that every moment of doubt is a test to see whether they are willing to rise above mediocrity and claim what is possible. Staying hungry means embracing discomfort, because the fire of ambition cannot thrive in the calm and ease of complacency. It grows in the tension of subtle, the resistance of effort, and the uncertainty of challenge, and it demands that you consistently push the limits of what you believe is achievable. Hunger is not fleeting, it is a lifestyle, a philosophy, and a daily practice of striving for more, of reaching higher, and of refusing to accept limitations imposed by circumstance, society, or your own self-doubt. To stay hungry, you must learn to discipline your mind and body, to establish habits that support your vision, and to dedicate yourself to the work required to turn dreams into reality. Motivation alone is insufficient, because it waxes and wanes, rises and falls with circumstances and emotions. Hunger, however, is a constant companion, guiding you to act with purpose even when inspiration is absent, to persist when effort is exhausting, and to pursue excellence when the world is content with mediocrity. It is what drives a person to wake before dawn, to work while others rest, to study when others play, and to create when others hesitate. Hunger is the difference between potential realized and potential wasted, between a life lived passively and a life claimed intentionally. It is cultivated by the relentless questioning of self. Are you doing enough? Are you pushing hard enough? Are you creating value that matters? It forces accountability, removes excuses, and ignites a fire that compels you to rise even when the weight of responsibility, fear, or uncertainty threatens to hold you down. Staying hungry requires vision, a clear picture of where you are going and why, because hunger without direction can become chaos, a restless energy without purpose. Vision aligns hunger with intention, creating a force that propels you toward goals that are meaningful, ambitious, and transformative. Hunger is also contagious. It attracts like-minded individuals, inspires others to rise, and creates an environment where excellence is expected and mediocrity is rejected. It is the invisible engine behind every success story, the hidden force that drives innovation, perseverance, and extraordinary achievement. To remain hungry is to commit to a lifetime of learning, of improvement, of rising above setbacks, and of relentlessly pursuing what others say is impossible. It means embracing challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities, failures not as endings but as feedback, and criticism not as judgment but as guidance. Hunger is courage in action, discipline in practice, and vision in motion. It refuses to settle for the familiar, the easy, or the convenient, and it thrives on the discomfort of pushing beyond what you thought you could endure. The hungry person wakes each day with purpose, passion, and a plan, knowing that the difference between where they are and where they want to be is effort, persistence, and unshakable commitment. Hunger transforms ordinary moments into stepping stones for greatness, ordinary actions into habits of excellence, and ordinary individuals into extraordinary forces of change. It is the relentless pursuit of more, not for greed, not for vanity, but for the fulfillment of potential, the creation of impact, and the realization of a life that is truly exceptional. So, as you step into your day, remember that staying hungry is not optional, it is essential. It is the compass that directs your choices, the fire that ignites your ambition, and the fuel that propels you toward a life lived with intensity, purpose, and unstoppable drive. Feed it, nurture it, and let it grow, because a hungry heart and a determined mind are the keys to achieving what others only dream of. Your journey begins now, and the hunger within you is the greatest power you will ever wield. Hunger requires clarity, and clarity begins with vision. The ability to see beyond the present moment, to look past obstacles, and to imagine a life that is bigger, bolder, and more meaningful than what exists today. To stay hungry, you must cultivate a mindset that not only recognizes opportunity, but also knows exactly what it wants and refuses to be distracted or deterred by anything less than that vision. Life will constantly test your resolve, presenting challenges in the form of setbacks, failures, and the voices of doubt, both internal and external. And hunger is what allows you to see those challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as stepping stones on the path to growth and achievement. When you are hungry, fear becomes a tool rather than a limitation, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are capable of pushing through uncertainty, taking risks, and expanding your limits. Hunger compels action. It refuses to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions, because the perfect moment rarely arrives, and waiting for it is often a disguise for fear and procrastination. The hungry person moves deliberately, with purpose and intention, and understands that every small decision, every consistent effort, and every action taken in alignment with their vision compounds over time, creating momentum that becomes unstoppable. Staying hungry means embracing discomfort, because it is in the struggle, in the tension between what is and what could be, that growth occurs. The road to success is rarely smooth, and hunger teaches resilience, patience, and adaptability, allowing you to pivot when necessary, recover from failure quickly, and maintain unwavering focus on your ultimate goals. Hunger also demands discipline, because ambition without structure is chaos, and dreams without follow-through remain fantasies. To stay hungry, you must cultivate daily habits, routines, and practices that reinforce your vision, sustain your energy, and propel you forward even when motivation wanes, because motivation is fleeting and unreliable, whereas hunger is constant, persistent, and unyielding. Hunger requires self-reflection, the honest evaluation of your progress, strengths, weaknesses, and the alignment of your actions with your long-term objectives. It compels you to ask hard questions. Am I doing enough? Am I pushing myself beyond comfort? Am I truly committed to realizing the vision I hold? These questions fuel action, demand accountability, and prevent stagnation. Hunger thrives in an environment of challenge, where the ordinary is rejected and the pursuit of excellence is non-negotiable. It seeks inspiration, mentorship, and community, knowing that surrounding yourself with those who elevate your thinking, hold you accountable, and model relentless pursuit magnifies your own drive and potential. Staying hungry is not about comparison with others, but about measuring your progress against your own capacity and refusing to settle for less than what you are capable of achieving. Hunger is fueled by purpose, and purpose gives direction, meaning, and sustainability to your efforts. Without purpose, hunger becomes frantic energy, scattered and exhausting, but with a clear mission, it becomes a focused force capable of moving mountains, overcoming obstacles, and creating impact beyond what you imagine possible. Hunger embraces learning, recognizing that knowledge, skill, and adaptability are the tools that convert effort into achievement. Every failure is a lesson, every challenge is an opportunity, and every obstacle is a test of commitment, resilience, and determination. The hungry person does not shy away from criticism, rejection, or discomfort. Instead, they welcome it as feedback, using it to refine their approach, strengthen their mindset, and sharpen their execution. Hunger transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary forces because it instills the qualities that success demands: persistence when others quit, courage when fear is overwhelming, creativity when solutions are elusive, and tenacity when progress is slow. It is a relentless pursuit that demands emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and the ability to maintain focus amid chaos and distraction. Hunger requires vision, discipline, purpose, action, and resilience, and when all these forces converge, they create a momentum that propels you toward goals that once seemed unreachable. To stay hungry is to commit to a lifetime of effort, growth, and self-improvement, understanding that achievement is not a destination but a continuous journey, and that every step, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. It is the drive that compels you to rise early, to work harder, to learn more, and to push further than those around you, because you understand that comfort is the enemy of excellence, and that the world rewards those who refuse to settle. Hunger is not fleeting, it is a constant, ever-present companion that challenges you to be better, to do more, and to never be satisfied with mediocrity. It is cultivated through consistent action, reinforced by purpose, and sustained by the belief that your potential is limitless when fueled by relentless desire and uncompromising focus. To remain hungry is to embrace the discomfort, the struggle, and the uncertainty of life while maintaining unwavering faith in your ability to succeed. It is the force that turns ideas into reality, dreams into plans, and plans into achievements. It is what separates those who merely exist from those who leave a lasting mark on the world. Every decision, every effort, every moment of perseverance is a choice to feed the fire within, to nurture the vision you hold, and to commit to a path that others may avoid, because it requires courage, commitment, and relentless action. Hunger demands that you operate at your highest level, make the most of every opportunity, and continuously strive for improvement, because resting, settling, or waiting is not an option for those who are determined to achieve greatness. To stay hungry is to embrace the journey fully, to commit to growth without pause, and to ignite the passion, focus, and drive that will carry you through obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. Your vision is your compass, your hunger is your engine, and your commitment to action is the fuel that transforms potential into reality. Never underestimate the power of staying hungry, for it is the secret force behind every story of extraordinary success, and it is available to anyone willing to embrace it, nurture it, and act upon it relentlessly. Chapter 3: The hungry person understands the value of time like no one else, because time is the ultimate equalizer, the one resource that is given to every individual in exactly the same measure. yet often squandered by those who fail to recognize its true power. Staying hungry means approaching every hour, every minute, and every second with deliberate intention, understanding that wasted time is lost potential, lost opportunity, and lost progress toward the life you are capable of creating. Hunger compels you to act with urgency, to prioritize what truly matters, and to ruthlessly eliminate distractions, procrastination, and any activity that does not serve your ultimate goals. It is the driving force that pushes you to wake early, to seize the day before others have even begun, and to use every moment to cultivate skill, build knowledge, and expand your capacity. The hungry person treats each day as a chance to gain an edge, to move closer to their vision, and to leave no room for complacency or excuses, because they understand that small, consistent actions compound over time into results that are extraordinary, transformative, and long-lasting. Staying hungry means rejecting the temptation to settle for comfort or ease, because comfort is the enemy of progress and the slow killer of potential. It means embracing the discipline to plan, organize, and execute relentlessly, even when the work is challenging, tedious, or unrewarding in the short term, because the long-term payoff is worth every ounce of effort. Hunger also demands that you learn to manage your energy, focus, and priorities, recognizing that multitasking and scattered attention dilute your effectiveness, while concentrated effort produces exponential results. The person who stays hungry does not wait for perfect conditions, inspiration, or motivation. They take action consistently, knowing that progress is built through persistent effort, not by waiting for circumstances to align. Time, once lost, cannot be regained, and hunger ensures that every day is treated as a precious opportunity to grow, create, and move closer to the life you envision. Hunger also teaches the value of patience and strategic thinking, because using time wisely is not just about working harder, but about working smarter, focusing on the actions that yield the highest returns, and investing your effort in areas that align with your long-term objectives. It is the reason why the most successful people are also the most intentional with their time, constantly evaluating whether their daily actions are advancing them toward their goals or merely filling hours with activity that has no impact. Staying hungry requires self-awareness, because recognizing where your time is being wasted, where you are distracted, and where you are underperforming is critical to optimizing your days, weeks, and months. Hunger pushes you to structure your life, to develop routines and habits that maximize productivity, and to ensure that every moment contributes meaningfully to your progress. It also instills the mindset that even when progress seems slow, every effort matters, because incremental gains accumulate into breakthroughs, and persistence over time is what separates those who succeed from those who stagnate. Hunger compels you to embrace the discomfort of prioritizing your growth over temporary pleasures, to resist the allure of instant gratification, and to focus on long-term results rather than fleeting satisfaction. It teaches that discipline and time management are inseparable companions, that organization and focus are essential skills, and that the way you use your time ultimately defines the trajectory of your life. The hungry person views every challenge, every obstacle, and every setback as an opportunity to maximize their time, to learn faster, to adapt quicker, and to grow stronger. They understand that time is finite, and that how they spend it determines the scale of their success, the depth of their impact, and the legacy they will leave behind. Staying hungry also means valuing the time of others, seeking mentors, collaborating with driven individuals, and building relationships that accelerate growth rather than distract from it. It is about surrounding yourself with energy, insight, and influence that amplify your ability to act, learn, and achieve. Hunger transforms time into a weapon, a tool, and a force multiplier, converting minutes into mastery, hours into achievements, and days into milestones that propel you toward your vision. To remain hungry is to recognize that the clock is always ticking, that opportunities will not wait, and that every moment you hesitate or waste is a moment someone else is seizing. It is the relentless pursuit of action, efficiency, and purpose in every endeavor, the unyielding commitment to making every second count, and the refusal to let life slip away through distraction, doubt, or indecision. Hunger cultivates urgency without panic, focus without rigidity, and discipline without burnout, allowing you to maximize both the quality and quantity of your output. It is the force that turns ambition into execution, intention into results, and potential into achievement. The hungry person operates with a sense of immediacy, understanding that time is the most valuable currency they will ever possess, that every moment matters, and that only by using it wisely can they transform their vision into reality. Staying hungry means mastering the art of time, making conscious choices about how to invest it, and committing fully to the actions, habits, and strategies that move you inexorably toward success. It is about treating life as a finite resource, leveraging every second with purpose, and refusing to let opportunities pass while waiting for circumstances to be perfect. Hunger ensures that time becomes your ally, your leverage, and your ultimate advantage, propelling you forward in a world where most drift aimlessly, unaware of the power they hold in each passing moment. To truly stay hungry is to respect the clock, to honor your ambitions, and to live each day as if it were both a challenge and an opportunity, understanding that the relentless use of time in pursuit of growth, mastery, and excellence is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the average from the remarkable, and those who merely exist from those who leave a lasting impact on the world. Chapter fear is the ultimate adversary of hunger, a subtle yet powerful force that whispers doubt, magnifies insecurities, and convinces us to settle for less than what we are capable of achieving. But staying hungry means learning to confront fear head-on, to see it not as a barrier, but as a signpost indicating where growth and transformation await, because every moment of fear contains an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger, braver, and more resilient than you realize. Hunger thrives when fear is transformed into action, when hesitation gives way to decisiveness, and when the discomfort of uncertainty becomes the fuel that propels you forward. Staying hungry requires the courage to step into the unknown, to take risks that others avoid, and to embrace challenges that seem insurmountable, knowing that growth and achievement rarely exist within the confines of comfort. Fear will attempt to dictate your choices, to convince you that failure is permanent, rejection is final, and risk is unbearable. But the hungry person understands that these are illusions designed to keep you small, that every obstacle is a test of resolve, and that the moment you act despite fear, you expand your capacity and elevate your potential. Hunger is cultivated in the face of adversity, because courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it, to move forward with determination while uncertainty looms, and to trust that every step taken with purpose brings you closer to your vision. The person who stays hungry recognizes that fear is a natural reaction to challenge, but it is not a signal to stop. It is an invitation to rise, to persist, and to prove to yourself that your capabilities are greater than the doubts that attempt to hold you back. Hunger demands resilience, and resilience is forged in moments of fear, rejection, and difficulty, teaching you that setbacks are temporary, failures are lessons, and obstacles are opportunities to develop new skills, sharpen your mindset, and strengthen your resolve. To stay hungry is to refuse to let fear dictate your life, to reject the comfort of inaction, and to embrace the discomfort that comes with striving for greatness. Hunger requires boldness, the audacity to pursue dreams that seem beyond reach, to challenge conventional limits, and to envision a life that others may not see or believe possible. It teaches that the greater the fear, the greater the reward, because the challenges that scare you most are often the ones that hold the keys to your growth, success, and transformation. Fear tests your commitment, patience, and focus, and hunger is the force that allows you to persist, adapt, and overcome, turning obstacles into opportunities and uncertainty into clarity. Staying hungry also means understanding that courage is a daily practice, a choice made in every decision, action, and moment of hesitation, because the journey to achievement is filled with moments that demand bravery, perseverance, and unwavering focus. Hunger transforms fear from a paralyzing force into a motivating one, teaching you to act decisively, to embrace risk intelligently, and to push beyond the limitations imposed by doubt, worry, or insecurity. The person who remains hungry does not wait for fear to vanish, because it never will. Instead, they cultivate the mindset, habits, and courage to act despite it, to step boldly into opportunities, and to persist in the face of adversity. Fear will attempt to distract you, to convince you that you are not ready, not capable, or not deserving, but hunger reminds you that readiness is built through action, capability is developed through effort, and deservingness is proven through persistence. Staying hungry requires mental toughness because fear can attack at any moment, attempting to undermine your confidence, sap your motivation, and derail your progress. And it is the consistent practice of courage, focus and action that neutralizes its power and channels it into growth. Hunger teaches that every risk taken, every challenge faced, and every moment of discomfort endured is an investment in your capacity to succeed, and that the mastery of fear is the gateway to realizing your full potential. It compels you to embrace the unknown, to experiment, to fail, and to rise stronger, knowing that progress is never linear and that every obstacle contains the seeds of opportunity. To remain hungry is to cultivate a mindset in which fear becomes a teacher, a guide, and a motivator rather than a constraint, allowing you to act boldly, dream expansively, and achieve beyond what you previously imagined. Hunger thrives in courage, discipline, and persistence, and the person who stays hungry recognizes that the most remarkable achievements in life are always preceded by moments of fear, doubt, and uncertainty, and it is their response to those moments that determines whether they rise or retreat. Fear challenges your resilience, focus, and determination, and hunger provides the strength, vision, and persistence necessary to overcome it, transforming potential obstacles into opportunities for growth, learning, and achievement. Staying hungry is a commitment to acting in spite of fear, to embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth, and to maintaining unwavering pursuit of your vision, regardless of the uncertainty that surrounds you. It is the recognition that fear is inevitable, that courage is essential, and that the path to greatness is paved with challenges that demand you rise, persist, and thrive. Hunger teaches you to see beyond the immediate fear, to focus on long-term purpose, and to act with relentless determination, knowing that the rewards of courage far outweigh the temporary relief of inaction. The hungry person does not allow fear to define them. They define fear through their actions, their choices, and their unwavering commitment to achieving the extraordinary. Staying hungry means embracing fear as a sign that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone, stretching your potential, and daring to achieve what others might never attempt. Because it is only through facing the fears that challenge you most that you unlock the power, growth, and success that lie within your grasp. Chapter 5 Discipline is the engine that powers hunger, the invisible force that transforms raw desire into consistent action, ambition into achievement, and dreams into tangible reality, because without discipline, even the strongest hunger becomes scattered energy, fleeting motivation, or wasted potential. To stay hungry, you must understand that talent alone is not enough, motivation alone is insufficient, and inspiration alone is unreliable, because these forces come and go, rise and fall, while discipline is steady, unwavering, and capable of sustaining long-term effort through any circumstance. Discipline is built through habits, routines, and practices that align with your vision, reinforce your goals, and create a structure in which your hunger can thrive. Because without a framework, desire alone is like fire without oxygen. It flickers weakly, struggles to catch, and ultimately fails to illuminate the path to success. Staying hungry means showing up consistently, even when the work is hard, tedious, or unrewarding in the immediate moment, because the results that matter most are often invisible at first, hidden beneath the surface of effort, repetition, and persistence. Discipline allows you to act when motivation wanes, to persist when challenges seem overwhelming, and to move forward when others hesitate, because it is the bridge between potential and performance, intention and execution, and ideas and outcomes. The person who stays hungry understands that discipline is not punishment but empowerment. It is the tool that enables them to focus, prioritize, and allocate their energy toward actions that truly matter, rather than being distracted by the trivial, the convenient, or the comfortable. Hunger and discipline are inseparable because consistent effort is what compounds over time into mastery, expertise, and success. And without discipline, hunger is merely a passing feeling, a spark that fades quickly under pressure. Discipline requires self-control, the ability to delay gratification, and the commitment to make choices that serve long-term objectives over short-term pleasure, because the pursuit of excellence demands sacrifice, intentionality, and a willingness to endure discomfort in order to achieve lasting results. Staying hungry means building mental toughness, the capacity to stay on course despite setbacks, fatigue, and frustration, and the discipline to push through barriers that would cause less determined individuals to give up, compromise, or settle. Discipline is cultivated through repetition, through adherence to routines that reinforce your growth, and through the conscious decision to prioritize your goals over fleeting distractions, entertainment, or the temptation to settle for mediocrity. The hungry person does not wait for motivation to strike or for inspiration to arrive. They act consistently because they know that results are built not on emotion, but on sustained, disciplined effort, and that the path to achievement is paved with actions taken when circumstances are imperfect and energy is low. Discipline strengthens resilience, because it teaches you to persist even when results are not immediate, to maintain effort when progress seems invisible, and to keep moving forward when the journey feels long, arduous, or uncertain. Hunger without discipline is a fire that sputters, while hunger with discipline is a blaze that cannot be extinguished, because it is sustained by deliberate, intentional action, guided by vision, and fortified by consistency. Staying hungry requires that you measure your progress, evaluate your performance, and adjust your habits and routines to ensure that every action contributes meaningfully to your overarching goals, because discipline is not blind obedience but intelligent, purposeful, and strategic action that maximizes the return on your effort. Discipline also protects hunger from external distractions, from the noise of criticism, the pull of comfort, and the temptation to take shortcuts, because it instills focus, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to the path you have chosen. The person who remains hungry recognizes that every decision they make is an investment in their future, that every choice to act in alignment with their goals compounds over time, and that discipline transforms intention into execution, chaos into order, and dreams into reality. Staying hungry means embracing the structure, repetition, and rigor that discipline demands, understanding that every small, consistent effort is a building block of greatness. Every habit reinforces your capacity for excellence, and every routine strengthens your ability to perform at the highest level even under pressure. Hunger drives the desire to achieve, but discipline ensures that this desire is productive, focused, and sustainable, because without consistent action, even the strongest ambition is powerless. Discipline is the anchor that keeps you grounded when external circumstances shift, the engine that powers relentless pursuit when energy wanes, and the compass that ensures your actions align with your vision, priorities, and long-term objectives. Staying hungry requires that you respect the process, embrace the grind, and commit to doing what must be done even when it is difficult, inconvenient, or uncomfortable, because the results that truly matter are reserved for those willing to endure the labor, repetition, and sacrifice that success demands. Discipline makes hunger actionable, converting passion into performance, vision into results, and effort into achievement. And it is the quality that separates those who talk about their goals from those who achieve them. Hunger inspires, discipline executes, and together they create momentum that cannot be stopped, opportunities that cannot be ignored, and outcomes that cannot be denied. To stay hungry is to embrace discipline as your daily companion, your guiding principle, and your most powerful ally, because it ensures that your energy, focus, and determination are consistently directed toward the life you are destined to create, transforming potential into reality and turning ambition into unstoppable achievement. Cheetah 6 Hunger is fueled by purpose, and purpose is the compass that directs every action, every decision, and every ounce of effort toward a meaningful and intentional life. Because without purpose, hunger can become aimless, scattered, or even exhausting, leaving you busy but unfulfilled, active but stagnant, and striving without direction. Staying hungry requires a deep understanding of why you pursue your goals, dreams, and ambitions, because when you have a clear reason for your relentless effort, every challenge becomes bearable, every setback becomes a lesson, and every obstacle becomes an opportunity to strengthen your resolve and refine your approach. Purpose gives your hunger meaning, transforming it from a fleeting desire into a sustained, burning drive that propels you forward when motivation fades, when doubt creeps in, and when the journey seems long, hard, or uncertain. The person who stays hungry does not act randomly or drift aimlessly through life. They act with intention, guided by a vision that aligns with their values, passions, and long-term objectives, because clarity of purpose allows you to allocate your time, energy, and focus to the actions that produce the greatest impact and bring you closer to the life you envision. Hunger without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, moving with effort but without direction, while hunger fueled by purpose is a powerful, focused force that navigates through challenges, overcomes resistance, and achieves extraordinary results. Purpose also strengthens resilience, because when the going gets tough, when rejection, failure, or criticism threaten to derail your efforts, a clear sense of why you pursue your goals gives you the courage, determination, and perseverance to continue moving forward, knowing that every struggle is temporary and every lesson is a building block for your growth. Staying hungry means continually reconnecting with your purpose, revisiting your why, and ensuring that your daily actions, habits, and choices are aligned with the outcomes you desire, because misalignment between action and purpose leads to frustration, wasted effort, and eventual stagnation. Hunger drives you to seek mastery, growth, and excellence, but purpose ensures that your efforts are directed at what truly matters, creating value not only for yourself, but for others as well, because the most meaningful achievements are those that contribute, inspire, and leave a lasting impact beyond personal gain. The hungry person understands that purpose is not static, it evolves, deepens, and expands as you gain experience, insight, and clarity, and staying hungry means continually refining your goals and vision to ensure they remain ambitious, inspiring, and aligned with the life you are committed to creating. Purpose also fosters accountability, because when you know why you pursue something, you are less likely to be swayed by distractions, excuses, or the opinions of others, and more likely to act consistently, persistently, and intelligently toward your objectives. Hunger and purpose together create unstoppable momentum, because desire without direction can falter, but desire coupled with meaning propels you through uncertainty, fatigue, and resistance, transforming effort into results and dreams into reality. Staying hungry requires courage, because purpose often demands that you step outside comfort zones, challenge norms, and pursue paths that are unfamiliar, difficult, or risky, and it is this courage, informed by a strong why, that allows you to overcome fear, hesitation, and doubt, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth, learning, and achievement. Hunger guided by purpose also cultivates focus, because it filters out distractions, clarifies priorities, and directs your energy toward actions that produce meaningful outcomes, ensuring that your relentless drive is not wasted on trivial pursuits or short-term gratification, but invested in long-term progress and sustained achievement. The person who remains hungry recognizes that purpose is the fuel that turns ambition into action, vision into strategy, and effort into measurable results, and that without a compelling why, hunger can dissipate, leaving potential unfulfilled, talent unrealized, and opportunities missed. Staying hungry means embracing the responsibility to define your purpose, articulate it clearly, and integrate it into every aspect of your life, from daily routines to long-term planning. Because a life led by purpose transforms challenges into motivation, setbacks into lessons, and effort into fulfillment. Hunger driven by purpose also inspires others, because clarity, commitment, and relentless pursuit of meaningful goals create a magnetic force that attracts like-minded individuals, mentors, collaborators, and supporters who elevate your journey, amplify your efforts, and contribute to your ultimate success. To remain hungry, you must cultivate self-awareness, reflection, and intentionality, understanding that your purpose is the engine that powers your actions, the lens through which you evaluate opportunities, and the standard against which you measure progress. Hunger without purpose may lead to activity, but hunger with purpose leads to achievement, impact, and fulfillment, because it ensures that every action, every decision, and every ounce of effort contributes to the life you are striving to create. Staying hungry means committing to a purpose that is greater than temporary satisfaction, fleeting success, or external validation, and aligning your relentless drive with the values, vision, and long-term goals that define the life you want to live. Purpose transforms hunger from raw energy into a focused, sustainable, and unstoppable force, giving your actions direction, your persistence meaning, and your results significance. When you combine hunger with purpose, you create the conditions for extraordinary growth, unparalleled resilience, and limitless achievement, because your drive is no longer simply about desire. It is about meaningful impact, deliberate action, and the fulfillment of your highest potential. Staying hungry requires that you consistently feed your purpose, reflect on your why, and ensure that every effort, every struggle, and every victory is connected to the greater vision of your life, because it is the alignment of hunger and purpose that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results, ordinary goals into remarkable achievements, and ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. CTR7 persistence is the cornerstone of staying hungry, the unyielding force that separates those who achieve from those who give up, because the path to success is never straight, smooth, or predictable, and without the determination to keep moving forward despite setbacks, obstacles, and failures, even the greatest potential can remain unrealized. To remain hungry means cultivating a mindset that embraces challenge as a necessary part of growth, that understands the journey toward meaningful achievement is filled with moments of doubt, difficulty, and frustration, and that every barrier is an opportunity to demonstrate resilience, adaptability, and strength. Hunger thrives on persistence because it transforms obstacles into stepping stones, rejections into lessons, and failures into fuel for further action, reminding you that every effort invested, even when progress seems slow or invisible, compounds over time to produce extraordinary results. The person who stays hungry does not quit when circumstances are unfavorable, when resources are limited, or when the world seems to conspire against them. Instead, They find ways to adapt, innovate, and persevere, knowing that the distance between where they are and where they want to be is bridged by consistent, relentless effort. Persistence requires a long-term perspective, the understanding that results are rarely immediate, and that most worthwhile goals demand sustained action, patience, and the willingness to endure discomfort, delay gratification, and continue striving even when immediate rewards are absent. Hunger fueled by persistence develops mental toughness, teaching you to push past the fatigue, doubt, and frustration that inevitably accompany any meaningful pursuit, and it strengthens character by demonstrating that success is not granted to the passive or the impatient, but earned by those willing to persist when others quit. Staying hungry means committing to your goals with unwavering tenacity, showing up every day with the intention to act, improve, and advance, even in the face of setbacks, criticism, or uncertainty, because persistence is what turns repeated effort into momentum. And momentum is what propels you toward achievement. The hungry person understands that obstacles are not roadblocks, but opportunities to refine strategies, learn new skills, and grow stronger, because every failure carries the lessons, insights, and experience necessary to approach the next challenge with greater wisdom, resilience, and confidence. Persistence transforms adversity into advantage, teaching that those who endure, adapt, and act consistently in the face of difficulty are the ones who achieve extraordinary outcomes, while those who surrender to frustration, fear, or discomfort remain stagnant, unfulfilled, and frustrated. Staying hungry requires embracing discomfort as a natural companion on the journey, because persistence is forged in the moments when quitting seems easier than continuing, when the path is steep, and when progress feels invisible. And it is in these moments that character, skill, and determination are strengthened. Hunger thrives on persistence because it instills the understanding that every setback is temporary, every challenge is solvable, and every obstacle contains the potential for growth, learning, and eventual triumph. And that the difference between success and failure is often simply the willingness to continue when others stop. The persistent person does not wait for perfect conditions, external validation, or ideal circumstances. They act consistently, making progress wherever possible, using every available resource, and turning every situation into an opportunity to advance. Because waiting for ideal conditions often results in stagnation, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled potential. Staying hungry means cultivating resilience, patience, and strategic thinking, because persistence is not blind repetition but intelligent, adaptive effort that evolves in response to challenges, setbacks, and changing circumstances, ensuring that every step taken moves you closer to your ultimate vision. Hunger and persistence together create unstoppable momentum, the kind that carries you through resistance, fatigue, and adversity, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary results, and transforming ambition into measurable achievement. The person who remains hungry understands that failure is not permanent, rejection is not final, and setbacks are not reasons to quit, but rather signals that adjustment, learning, and continued action are required, because the pursuit of greatness is a journey of trial, error, and continuous improvement. Persistence reinforces discipline, focus, and courage, because the act of continuing in the face of challenge strengthens habits, sharpens skills, and develops the emotional fortitude necessary to sustain hunger over the long term, ensuring that drive does not dissipate when faced with difficulty. Staying hungry means embracing the principle that consistent action, repeated effort, and unwavering commitment are more powerful than sporadic bursts of energy or fleeting motivation, because true prowess is a quality of persistence applied over time. Hunger fueled by persistence teaches that every obstacle is temporary, every failure is instructive, and every challenge is surmountable if approached with determination, patience, and an unshakable commitment to your goals. It transforms setbacks into preparation, struggle into strength, and adversity into opportunity, allowing you to cultivate mastery, confidence, and achievement in ways that sporadic effort could never accomplish. To remain hungry is to commit to the long-term pursuit of your vision, understanding that persistence is the catalyst that transforms effort into results, difficulty into learning, and ambition into realized potential, and that those who endure, adapt, and act consistently will inevitably achieve more than those who rely solely on talent, inspiration, or short-term bursts of energy. Hunger, when combined with persistence, becomes a relentless force, a continuous engine of growth, and the driving principle behind every story of extraordinary accomplishment, ensuring that no setback is permanent, no obstacle insurmountable, and no goal unreachable when met with unyielding determination. Chapter 8. Focus is the laser-like force that channels hunger into meaningful results, the concentrated energy that separates those who achieve their goals from those who drift aimlessly, distracted by noise, temptation, or the endless pull of trivial pursuits, because without focus, even the strongest desire can become diluted, scattered, or wasted, leaving potential unrealized and ambition unfulfilled. Staying hungry requires the ability to identify what truly matters, to prioritize the tasks, habits, and actions that will bring you closer to your vision, and to eliminate anything that diverts energy away from the pursuit of your highest objectives. Hunger without focus is like fire without direction. It burns, consumes, and produces heat, but fails to generate light, progress, or transformation, whereas hunger with focus becomes unstoppable, creating momentum, mastery, and measurable achievement in every area of life. The person who remains hungry understands that focus is cultivated through clarity of purpose, disciplined habits, and the conscious from someone else in the essence, because the ability to concentrate your energy on what truly matters is the key to turning intention into execution, effort into results, and dreams into reality. Staying hungry means developing the mental toughness to say no to everything that does not serve your goals, to resist the pull of immediate gratification, and to maintain your attention on the tasks, actions, and strategies that deliver long-term impact. Because scattered effort produces mediocre results, while focused effort compounds over time into extraordinary outcomes. Hunger thrives on focus because it allows you to channel passion, energy, and determination into the most important areas, transforming repeated, deliberate action into masterly progress and success, and ensuring that every moment, decision, and effort is aligned with your vision. The focused person does not allow interruptions, temptations, or external opinions to dictate their energy or direction. They understand that protecting their time and attention is essential, because focus is a skill that determines the difference between a life of achievement and a life of unfulfilled potential. Staying hungry requires prioritization, the ability to discern between what is urgent and what is important, and the discipline to allocate energy to the activities that truly drive progress. Because not all effort is equal, and only focused, intentional action produces results worth pursuing. Hunger fueled by focus enhances productivity, sharpens decision-making, and accelerates growth. Because when you direct your energy toward high-impact actions consistently, you create momentum that propels you forward, opens opportunities, and amplifies the results of your effort. The person who remains hungry develops systems, routines, and structures that support sustained concentration, because focus is not a fleeting state of mind, but a cultivated skill, reinforced by practice, discipline, and conscious effort. Staying hungry also means cultivating mindfulness, the ability to remain present in every task, to observe distractions without succumbing to them, and to continuously realign your attention with your priorities, because every lapse in focus is a lost opportunity, and every regained moment of concentration brings you closer to your vision. Hunger with focus teaches resilience, because when challenges, obstacles, or setbacks arise, the focused individual maintains attention on the solution rather than being derailed by frustration, fear, or doubt, turning adversity into opportunity and difficulty into growth. The ability to focus transforms ordinary effort into exceptional results, ordinary actions into habits of excellence, and ordinary individuals into high achievers, because it maximizes the return on every ounce of energy, every decision, and every moment invested in progress. Staying hungry requires the elimination of mental clutter, the quieting of doubt, and the intentional direction of thought and action toward your goals, because clarity of mind allows for clarity of purpose, and clarity of purpose allows for decisive, effective action. Hunger guided by focus also enhances learning and skill development, because concentrated attention accelerates mastery, deepens understanding, and produces results far beyond what scattered effort could achieve, turning practice into expertise and intention into performance. The person who remains hungry protects their focus by setting boundaries, managing inputs, and controlling their environment, recognizing that attention is finite, energy is precious, and distraction is costly, and that success is achieved not by doing everything, but by doing what matters with unwavering concentration. Staying hungry means cultivating the capacity to persist in focus, to redirect attention when distracted, and to align daily actions with long-term goals, because the alignment of effort with intention is the essence of effective achievement. Hunger and focus together create unstoppable momentum, a force that drives consistent progress, overcomes resistance, and transforms ambition into measurable outcomes, because the power of concentrated effort compounds over time, producing results that are remarkable, impactful, and lasting. The person who harnesses hunger with focus becomes resilient, disciplined, and unstoppable, capable of achieving what others deem impossible, because their energy is concentrated, their vision is clear, and their commitment to meaningful action is unwavering. Staying hungry requires the continuous practice of attention, the intentional alignment of effort with purpose, and the disciplined execution of high-priority tasks, because focus ensures that every ounce of energy you expend produces maximum impact, and that your relentless drive is converted into tangible, extraordinary results. Hunger without focus is wasted potential, but hunger combined with focus becomes the engine of achievement, the force behind mastery, and the pathway to extraordinary success, transforming ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies, one deliberate, concentrated action at a time. Heart-9 adaptability is the hidden power that amplifies hunger, the capacity to adjust, evolve, and thrive when circumstances change, because the path to success is never linear, predictable, or smooth. And those who cling rigidly to one approach, one plan, or one way of thinking often find their hunger frustrated by unforeseen obstacles, setbacks, and disruptions. Staying hungry requires the ability to pivot intelligently, to embrace change without fear, and to see challenges as opportunities to refine strategies, enhance skills, and expand your capacity to succeed, because the world is constantly shifting, and the ability to adapt ensures that your relentless drive continues to produce results regardless of circumstance. Hunger without adaptability can become stubbornness, rigidity, or wasted effort, whereas hunger coupled with flexibility allows you to remain persistent, focused, and effective even when conditions are unpredictable, evolving, or seemingly unfavorable. The person who stays hungry understands that setbacks are not permanent, failures are not definitive, and obstacles are not insurmountable, because adaptability allows them to assess, adjust, and act strategically, turning uncertainty into opportunity and resistance into growth. Staying hungry means cultivating a mindset that welcomes change, seeks solutions, and remains open to new ideas, perspectives, and approaches, because flexibility ensures that your energy is always aligned with what will produce the best outcome, rather than being wasted on methods, plans, or habits that no longer serve your progress. Hunger thrives on adaptability because it teaches resilience, creativity, and problem-solving, transforming every disruption, rejection, or challenge into a learning experience that strengthens your ability to perform under pressure and achieve your goals despite circumstances. The adaptable individual does not view change as a threat, but as a signal that growth, innovation, and opportunity await, and they respond with curiosity, determination, and strategic action rather than panic, hesitation, or resignation. Staying hungry requires recognizing that no plan survives contact with reality unchanged, and that the ability to pivot, iterate, and adjust is not a weakness but a critical strength, because progress is achieved by those who learn, adapt, and execute relentlessly. Hunger and adaptability work together to produce mastery, because the person who remains hungry is willing to experiment, to test different approaches, and to modify their strategy based on feedback, data, and experience, ensuring that every effort moves them closer to their vision, even in the face of uncertainty. Adaptability also strengthens focus and decision-making, because when circumstances change, the person who is both hungry and flexible can quickly recalibrate priorities, allocate resources intelligently, and continue executing with precision, rather than becoming paralyzed by disruption or frustrated by unexpected events. Staying hungry means embracing the principle that growth often requires leaving familiar territory, challenging assumptions, and taking calculated risks, because adaptability transforms discomfort into opportunity and uncertainty into advantage, allowing you to navigate obstacles that would halt those less flexible. Hunger fueled by adaptability ensures that effort is not wasted, that setbacks become stepping stones, and that challenges enhance rather than impede progress, because the ability to evolve and adjust allows you to maintain momentum, pursue excellence, and achieve results that remain unattainable to those who cling rigidly to the past or resist necessary change. The adaptable person cultivates continuous learning, self-reflection, and situational awareness, because understanding how to respond effectively to new information, shifting circumstances, and emerging challenges is essential for converting hunger into consistent success. Staying hungry requires embracing uncertainty as a constant companion, because the future is unpredictable, and those who can adjust, innovate, and act decisively will outpace those who rely solely on routine, comfort, or familiarity. Hunger and adaptability together foster resilience, because the person who persists with flexibility can withstand pressure, overcome setbacks, and continue advancing toward goals even when conditions are difficult, ambiguous, or rapidly changing. The ability to pivot, rethink strategies, and adjust expectations is what ensures that every ounce of effort contributes to progress, every challenge becomes a lesson, and every obstacle transforms into a stepping stone for greater achievement. Staying hungry means developing the capacity to evaluate situations critically, embrace feedback constructively, and implement change without losing focus on the overarching vision, because adaptability without direction can become scattered energy, but adaptability guided by hunger becomes unstoppable momentum. Hunger thrives on adaptability because it allows you to seize opportunities others overlook, solve problems others avoid, and maintain relentless progress when many would falter or surrender, transforming potential setbacks into launching points for growth, innovation, and excellence. The person who is hungry and adaptable recognizes that mastery is not achieved through rigid adherence to plans, but through the continuous ability to learn, adjust, and refine strategies in pursuit of goals, turning uncertainty into advantage and challenge into progress. Staying hungry requires cultivating mental agility, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking, because the combination of desire, resilience, and flexibility allows you to maintain momentum regardless of disruption, and to convert every obstacle into a source of insight, skill, and advancement. Hunger guided by adaptability ensures that the pursuit of success is sustainable, dynamic, and unstoppable, producing outcomes that are extraordinary, impactful, and lasting, because the person who can persist relentlessly while adjusting intelligently to the realities of life creates a force that cannot be defeated, delayed, or derailed. In essence, to stay hungry is to embrace change, master flexibility, and leverage adaptability as a core strength, ensuring that your ambition, effort, and vision remain aligned, productive, and unstoppable, no matter what challenges, surprises, or uncertainties emerge along the journey toward greatness. Chapter 10. Gratitude is the secret amplifier of hunger, the often overlooked force that transforms relentless ambition into sustainable motivation, because while hunger drives action, persistence, and focus, gratitude grounds your energy, sharpens your awareness, and enhances your capacity to appreciate progress, learn from experience, and maintain the emotional resilience necessary to pursue your goals with clarity and purpose. Staying hungry does not mean a constant state of dissatisfaction or an unrelenting push for more without reflection. It means balancing ambition with recognition of what you have, celebrating milestones, and acknowledging the resources, relationships, and opportunities that support your journey, because gratitude keeps your hunger constructive rather than destructive, keeping your mind and spirit aligned with growth, not consumed by envy, impatience, or frustration. Hunger fueled by gratitude ensures that every effort is purposeful, every challenge is contextualized, and every setback is met with a mindset that seeks learning and opportunity rather than despair, because the act of appreciating progress, effort, and even struggle cultivates resilience, perspective, and inner strength. The person who stays hungry recognizes that success is not achieved in isolation, that achievements are often the result of support, mentorship, collaboration, and opportunities afforded by circumstances outside of themselves, and gratitude allows them to acknowledge these factors while continuing to strive for excellence. Staying hungry with gratitude means taking time to reflect on the journey, to notice growth, to value incremental achievements, and to derive motivation from the understanding that every step forward is the product of effort, learning, and perseverance, not merely chance. Gratitude fuels focus because it clarifies priorities, highlights the elements that truly matter, and allows you to channel energy toward actions that produce meaningful results rather than being distracted by trivial pursuits, comparison, or dissatisfaction. Hunger and gratitude together create a balanced, sustainable force. Hunger pushes you to act relentlessly, to innovate, and to persist, while gratitude ensures that this energy is directed wisely, anchored emotionally, and maintained over the long term, preventing burnout, discouragement, and reckless decision-making. The person who remains hungry with gratitude develops a perspective that transforms obstacles into opportunities, challenges into lessons, and setbacks into growth, because acknowledging what is working and what you have already accomplished strengthens confidence, resilience, and determination, empowering you to continue striving without losing focus or hope. Staying hungry requires embracing the principle that recognizing the present moment, appreciating effort, and celebrating progress does not diminish ambition, but rather enhances it, because gratitude creates emotional balance, reinforces self-belief, and fuels the ongoing drive to pursue greater challenges and higher goals. Hunger guided by gratitude fosters humility, because it reminds you that achievement is a combination of effort, learning, and external support, and that acknowledging this truth allows you to maintain perspective, openness, and a continuous desire to grow, improve, and give back. The person who cultivates both hunger and gratitude operates with clarity, purpose, and emotional intelligence, recognizing that their relentless drive is most effective when anchored in awareness of the positive forces already present in their life and the progress already achieved. Staying hungry with gratitude also enhances creativity and problem-solving, because it allows you to approach challenges from a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity, seeing possibilities, solutions, and opportunities instead of limitations, setbacks, or obstacles, and enabling you to act decisively and intelligently under pressure. Hunger fueled by gratitude transforms motivation into meaningful action, ensuring that energy is sustainable, focus is sharp, and persistence is reinforced by emotional resilience, because acknowledging what you have learned, and the small victories along the way cultivates confidence and a mindset that can endure adversity while remaining committed to long-term goals. The person who remains hungry with gratitude is also more resilient in the face of criticism, rejection, or failure, because they maintain perspective, recognizing that every challenge contains lessons and opportunities for growth, and that setbacks do not define worth or potential, but rather refine skill, character, and determination. Staying hungry requires balancing ambition with reflection, drive with appreciation, and persistence with mindfulness, because the most extraordinary achievements are not solely the result of relentless action, but also of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and the capacity to acknowledge and leverage the forces that support progress. Hunger and gratitude together produce a mindset that is unstoppable yet balanced, ambitious yet grounded, and relentless yet resilient, because each action is fueled by desire, informed by awareness, and strengthened by perspective, creating momentum that persists even under adversity. The person who combines hunger with gratitude also inspires others, because their energy is constructive, their drive is sustainable, and their approach demonstrates that relentless pursuit and appreciation can coexist, modeling a mindset that produces both results and fulfillment. Staying hungry means embracing the duality of striving and appreciating, pushing forward with intensity while recognizing every step, lesson, and achievement along the way, because the practice of gratitude enhances clarity, strengthens resolve, and amplifies the effectiveness of hunger, ensuring that ambition is purposeful, sustainable, and transformative. Hunger guided by gratitude becomes a powerful, enduring force that converts potential into reality, effort into achievement, and ambition into meaningful, lasting impact, because it is anchored in awareness, reinforced by appreciation, and propelled by relentless pursuit of excellence. To stay hungry is to cultivate this balance, ensuring that your energy is sustained, your focus is unwavering, and your drive is continuously aligned with both achievement and the recognition of the journey that makes that achievement possible. CFTR 11 Confidence is the fuel that allows hunger to operate at its highest capacity, the internal belief that you are capable, deserving, and prepared to take on challenges, overcome obstacles, and achieve your goals, because without confidence, even the hungriest individual hesitates, doubts their abilities, and limits the scope of their actions, undermining their potential for success. Staying hungry requires cultivating unshakable self-belief, a mindset that trusts in your skills, your judgment, and your capacity to learn, grow, and adapt, because confidence transforms fear into motivation, uncertainty into opportunity, and hesitation into decisive action. Hunger without confidence can become indecision, self-sabotage, or fear-driven restraint, whereas hunger combined with confidence becomes a relentless force that drives consistent action, empowers risk-taking, and turns potential into tangible results. The person who remains hungry understands that confidence is not arrogance or entitlement, but a steady, grounded assurance that their effort, preparation, and persistence will yield progress, and that they are capable of navigating challenges with skill, resilience, and strategic thought. Staying hungry means taking ownership of your abilities, recognizing your strengths, and acknowledging the work you have done to develop them, because self-assurance allows you to act decisively, seize opportunities, and persist when others hesitate, falter, or doubt themselves. Hunger fueled by confidence enhances performance, because belief in yourself reduces hesitation, sharpens focus, and enables you to approach challenges with clarity, courage, and creativity, turning obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into lessons that reinforce growth. The confident, hungry person does not wait for validation, approval, or reassurance from others, They act based on knowledge, preparation, and conviction because they understand that reliance on external affirmation undermines independence, momentum, and the ability to seize opportunities as they arise. Staying hungry requires cultivating self-awareness because confidence is strengthened through understanding your abilities, limitations, and areas for improvement. And this awareness allows you to act intelligently, strategically, and assertively, rather than impulsively or recklessly. Hunger and confidence together create a powerful synergy. Hunger drives relentless pursuit, persistence, and effort, while confidence ensures that this energy is channeled effectively, decisively, and with the belief that success is attainable through action, preparation, and resilience. The person who remains hungry with confidence embraces challenges, not as threats to avoid but as opportunities to demonstrate skill, expand capability, and reinforce their belief in themselves, because confidence allows action to flow unimpeded by fear, doubt, or insecurity, ensuring that every effort contributes meaningfully to progress. Staying hungry also means embracing failure as a teacher rather than a judge, because confident individuals recognize that mistakes provide feedback, insight, and opportunity for growth, and that setbacks are not a reflection of inadequacy, but a natural part of the journey toward mastery, excellence, and achievement. Hunger guided by confidence encourages calculated risk-taking, innovation, and experimentation, because self-belief reduces fear of failure, enhances resilience, and fosters a mindset that is proactive, resourceful, and solution-oriented, allowing you to pursue ambitious goals without being paralyzed by uncertainty or doubt. The confident, hungry individual develops perseverance and mental toughness because belief in their ability to succeed fuels persistence when obstacles arise, discouragement threatens, or circumstances become challenging, transforming pressure into performance and adversity into opportunity. Staying hungry means cultivating habits, routines, and thought patterns that reinforce confidence, including preparation, learning, self-reflection, and consistent action, because confidence is strengthened through experience, competence, and evidence of past successes, not through wishful thinking or empty affirmations. Hunger fueled by confidence also enhances influence, leadership, and the ability to inspire others, because a person who demonstrates competence, belief in their abilities, and unwavering determination naturally attracts trust, respect, and collaboration, amplifying their capacity to achieve and lead. The person who remains hungry and confident maintains focus under pressure, adapts intelligently to change, and executes consistently toward their goals, because the combination of belief and desire provides both direction and energy, ensuring that effort is productive, intentional, and effective. Staying hungry requires the integration of humility with confidence, recognizing that while you have the ability to succeed, there is always room to learn, grow, and improve, because the most resilient, effective, and enduring confidence is balanced by awareness, adaptability, and a willingness to seek feedback and evolve. Hunger and confidence together produce courage, decisiveness, and the ability to act boldly, because belief in your own capacity empowers you to confront fear, embrace challenges, and pursue ambitious goals even when uncertainty, risk, or difficulty are present. The confident, hungry person does not allow self-doubt, criticism, or comparison to dictate their actions. Instead, they rely on preparation, knowledge, and past experience to guide decisions, ensuring that every step is purposeful, deliberate, and aligned with long-term objectives. Staying hungry with confidence transforms ambition into results, intention into action, and potential into achievement, because belief in your ability to succeed drives persistent effort, sharpens focus, and empowers you to navigate challenges effectively, producing outcomes that are both extraordinary and sustainable. Hunger guided by confidence becomes unstoppable because it combines relentless desire with unwavering self-assurance, creating a force that persists despite adversity, overcomes obstacles, and achieves results that define personal mastery, resilience, and accomplishment. To stay hungry is to cultivate both the drive to act and the belief in your ability to succeed, understanding that confidence fuels action, sustains persistence, and amplifies every effort, ensuring that your hunger is not only relentless, but also effective, strategic, and transformative. See Chapter 12. Vision is the guiding light that fuels hunger, the clear mental image of the life achievements and impact you are determined to create, because without vision, even the most relentless effort risks becoming aimless, scattered, or misdirected, leaving potential untapped and goals unmet. Staying hungry requires developing a vivid, compelling vision that not only inspires action, but also provides direction, purpose, and focus, because vision acts as both a compass and a motivator, guiding every decision, choice, and step along the path toward meaningful success. Hunger without vision can become frantic, reactive, or short-sighted, whereas hunger combined with vision becomes strategic, deliberate, and unstoppable, ensuring that energy is concentrated on the pursuits that truly matter and produce lasting impact. The person who remains hungry understands that vision is not a vague wish or idle daydream, but a clearly defined, emotionally charged representation of the future they are committed to creating, and that the more detailed and compelling the vision, the more powerful its ability to drive sustained effort and resilience. Staying hungry means taking the time to articulate what you want to achieve, why it matters, and how you will pursue it, because clarity of vision aligns your goals, actions, and decisions, allowing you to move forward with confidence, focus, and unwavering commitment. Hunger fueled by vision transforms ambition into strategy, because it provides a framework for prioritizing actions, evaluating opportunities, and making decisions that maximize progress and minimize wasted effort, ensuring that every step contributes meaningfully to the ultimate goal. The person who remains hungry and vision-driven does not allow distractions, doubts, or obstacles to derail them, because vision anchors their energy, reminding them of the bigger picture and motivating them to persist when immediate challenges threaten to discourage or overwhelm. Staying hungry requires not only creating a vision, but also consistently revisiting, refining, and reinforcing it, because clarity and emotional connection to your desired future must be maintained to sustain motivation, focus, and determination over the long, often arduous journey toward achievement. Hunger and vision together create a powerful synergy. Hunger provides the drive to act relentlessly, while vision ensures that every action is purposeful, aligned, and directed toward outcomes that truly matter, transforming ordinary effort into extraordinary results. The person who cultivates both hunger and vision embraces the challenges, setbacks, and failures they encounter as integral parts of the journey, because vision allows them to contextualize obstacles, extract lessons, and maintain momentum even when the immediate path seems difficult or unclear. Staying hungry with vision also fosters resilience and adaptability, because the clarity of the end goal allows you to adjust tactics, innovate, and respond to changing circumstances without losing sight of your ultimate destination, ensuring that flexibility does not become aimlessness. Hunger guided by vision inspires strategic thinking, deliberate action, and consistent progress, because when you know exactly what you want to achieve, you are able to plan, execute, and prioritize with precision, turning ambition into measurable results and potential into tangible success. The vision-driven, hungry person continually evaluates their progress, celebrates milestones, and recalibrates as necessary, because maintaining a living, evolving vision ensures that effort remains effective, meaningful, and aligned with long-term objectives, preventing stagnation, distraction, or loss of motivation. Staying hungry requires integrating vision into daily routines, decisions, and habits, because every small action taken with awareness of the bigger picture compounds over time into significant achievements, turning persistent effort into cumulative success and ambition into mastery. Hunger fueled by vision also cultivates creativity and innovation, because the clarity of your desired outcome allows you to see multiple pathways, identify opportunities others overlook, and develop solutions that accelerate progress while maintaining alignment with your overarching goals. The person who remains hungry and vision-oriented inspires others, because clear purpose, relentless drive, and strategic action create momentum that attracts support, collaboration, and influence, amplifying both their capacity to achieve and the impact of their accomplishments. Staying hungry means embedding vision into every aspect of your life, because the more vividly you see your future, the more motivated, disciplined, and persistent you become, and the more effectively your hunger translates into meaningful outcomes. Hunger guided by vision ensures that ambition is not random or reactive but intentional, directed, and powerful, because it channels energy toward the creation of the life, achievements, and impact you are committed to manifesting, and it provides the motivation and clarity to overcome obstacles, persist through adversity, and seize opportunities that align with your ultimate goals. The vision-driven, hungry person understands that while effort is essential, direction is equally critical, because persistent action without a clear target may produce activity but rarely produces fulfillment, mastery, or extraordinary results. Staying hungry requires combining relentless desire with unwavering clarity of vision, because the union of these forces transforms potential into reality, effort into achievement, and ambition into a lasting legacy. Hunger and vision together provide the energy, focus, and direction necessary to navigate challenges, maintain momentum, and achieve outcomes that are both extraordinary and enduring, ensuring that your pursuit of success is purposeful, sustainable, and unstoppable. To remain hungry is to create, embrace, and act upon a vision so compelling that it continuously drives effort, inspires resilience, and ensures that every step, decision, and action brings you closer to the extraordinary life you are destined to build. CFTR 13 mindset is the invisible architecture that shapes hunger, the internal framework of beliefs, attitudes, and expectations that determines whether your drive will lead to extraordinary achievement or squandered potential, because the most relentless hunger is ineffective without a perspective that sees challenges as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and effort as a pathway to mastery. Staying hungry requires cultivating a growth-oriented mindset, one that embraces learning, adaptation, and self-improvement as integral to the pursuit of goals, because a fixed or negative mindset will undermine even the strongest desire, creating fear of failure, resistance to change, and avoidance of challenges. Hunger fueled by mindset means recognizing that your thoughts, beliefs, and internal dialogue directly influence your actions, resilience, and outcomes, and that cultivating mental habits of optimism, perseverance, and curiosity is essential to sustaining motivation, focus, and determination over the long journey toward success. The person who remains hungry understands that mindset is not innate but cultivated, shaped through deliberate practice, reflection, and conscious effort, and that adopting empowering beliefs about your capacity, worth, and potential creates a foundation upon which relentless effort can thrive. Staying hungry means reframing obstacles as opportunities, failures as feedback, and criticism as insight, because a resilient mindset transforms challenges into stepping stones, allowing hunger to persist even when the path is difficult, uncertain, or filled with setbacks. Hunger and mindset work synergistically, because while hunger provides the energy and drive to act, mindset determines whether that energy is focused constructively, directed intelligently, and sustained through adversity, ensuring that ambition translates into measurable, meaningful results rather than wasted effort. The hungry mindset-oriented individual develops emotional intelligence, because the ability to manage emotions, interpret situations accurately, and respond intentionally enhances decision-making, persistence, and interpersonal effectiveness, all of which are crucial for achieving long-term goals. Staying hungry requires self-awareness, because understanding your habitual thought patterns, biases, and self-limiting beliefs allows you to identify mental obstacles and replace them with empowering alternatives that support focus, resilience, and continuous improvement. Hunger fueled by mindset also fosters creativity and problem-solving, because individuals who believe in their capacity to learn, adapt, and innovate approach challenges with curiosity, openness, and resourcefulness, transforming constraints into opportunities and generating solutions that drive progress. The person who remains hungry recognizes that setbacks do not define ability, effort does, and that maintaining a positive, growth-oriented mindset ensures that every challenge encountered becomes a lesson, every failure a catalyst for improvement, and every success a confirmation of potential realized. Staying hungry means embracing responsibility for your thoughts, because mindset influences choices, behaviors, and consistency of action, and those who fail to cultivate empowering mental frameworks risk sabotaging their own efforts, despite their hunger, drive, and ambition. Hunger guided by mindset strengthens persistence, because the belief that effort produces growth encourages continued action even when motivation wavers, obstacles seem insurmountable, or results are delayed, ensuring that drive is sustained by resilience rather than fleeting emotion. The mindset-focused, hungry individual actively seeks feedback, reflection, and learning opportunities, understanding that mastery and achievement are the products of continuous refinement, adaptation, and the willingness to evolve mentally as well as physically and strategically. Staying hungry requires confronting self-doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs directly, because a strong, resilient mindset transforms these challenges into opportunities to reinforce confidence, reinforce focus, and maintain relentless pursuit of objectives despite adversity. Hunger fueled by mindset also enhances discipline, because the internal belief in the value of effort, consistency, and long-term vision drives the structured, persistent action necessary for meaningful achievement, turning desire into tangible results and dreams into reality. The person who cultivates both hunger and mindset approaches setbacks with a solution-oriented perspective, evaluates problems strategically, and maintains emotional equilibrium, allowing them to respond effectively to adversity while continuing to pursue goals with intensity and clarity. Staying hungry means embedding positive, growth-oriented beliefs into daily routines, affirmations, and practices, because mindset is reinforced through repetition, conscious attention, and consistent reflection, ensuring that the mental framework supporting hunger remains strong, adaptive, and constructive over time. Hunger guided by mindset produces resilience, focus, and strategic action, because the internal narrative becomes aligned with the pursuit of goals. Obstacles are interpreted as manageable challenges, and effort is consistently directed toward meaningful outcomes. The hungry mindset-oriented person also cultivates patience, perspective, and long-term thinking, understanding that results are often delayed, progress is gradual, and that perseverance rooted in belief sustains momentum through uncertainty, difficulty, and temporary setbacks. Staying hungry requires embracing the power of mental conditioning, because mindset determines how you perceive challenges, regulate effort, and sustain motivation, transforming raw desire into disciplined, intelligent, and effective pursuit of goals. Hunger and mindset together create a force that is unstoppable, adaptable, and resilient, because desire without a strong mental framework is fragile, but when combined with empowering beliefs, clarity, and perspective, it becomes a sustainable engine of achievement that propels you toward extraordinary success. To remain hungry is to continuously cultivate, reinforce, and refine your mindset, ensuring that every thought, belief, and attitude aligns with your vision, amplifies your effort, and sustains the relentless drive necessary to achieve the life, impact, and results you are determined to create. Chapter 14. Discipline is the invisible backbone that transforms hunger into tangible achievement. The consistent practice of self-control, focus, and intentional action that ensures effort is not wasted, distractions are minimized, and goals are pursued with unwavering commitment. Because without discipline, even the most passionate desire or relentless hunger can dissipate in the face of temptation, procrastination, or inconsistency. Staying hungry requires embracing discipline as a core principle, understanding that the ability to regulate your actions, maintain, and persist through discomfort is what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who merely aspire without realizing their potential. Hunger without discipline can become chaotic, reactive, or unsustainable, whereas hunger reinforced by discipline becomes strategic, reliable, and unstoppable, ensuring that every action, decision, and effort consistently contributes to progress and long-term success. The person who remains hungry understands that discipline is not about rigid restriction or deprivation, but about creating structure and cultivating habits and making deliberate choices that align daily actions with long-term vision. Because freedom and success are often born from the intentional constraints that guide focus, effort, and consistency. Staying hungry wins establishes routines and rituals that reinforce productive behaviors, minimize distractions, and automate progress toward your goals, because discipline turns intention into action, ensures follow-through, and protects momentum even when motivation fluctuates or challenges arise. Hunger fueled by discipline enhances productivity because it allows you to act consistently, prioritize effectively, and execute tasks with precision, turning energy into measurable results and incremental progress into significant achievement. The disciplined, hungry person does not rely solely on bursts of motivation, external pressure, or sporadic effort, because they understand that sustainable success is the product of daily, deliberate action, repeated over time with consistency, focus, and resilience. Staying hungry requires the mental toughness to resist short-term gratification, avoid distractions, and maintain concentration on high-impact activities, because discipline is strengthened through conscious choice, delayed gratification, and the ability to prioritize long-term goals over immediate impulses. Hunger guided by discipline fosters perseverance, because the ability to maintain consistent effort despite fatigue, setbacks, or discouragement ensures that progress continues even when the journey becomes arduous, unpredictable, or frustrating, reinforcing the principle that persistence compounded with structure produces extraordinary results. The disciplined, hungry individual develops self-mastery because consistent practice of restraint, focus, and intentional action strengthens character, cultivates reliability, and enhances confidence in their capacity to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and achieve outcomes aligned with their vision. Staying hungry means recognizing that discipline is dynamic, not static, requiring continuous attention, reflection, and adjustment because circumstances, goals, and challenges evolve, and maintaining alignment between effort and purpose demands deliberate reinforcement of disciplined behaviors. Hunger fueled by discipline enhances decision-making because the habit of consistent action, focus, and follow-through sharpens judgment, strengthens foresight, and allows for strategic allocation of time, energy, and resources, ensuring that effort produces meaningful results rather than wasted activity. The disciplined, hungry person embraces accountability because they understand that responsibility for actions, adherence to commitments, and ownership of results are essential to sustaining momentum, maintaining integrity, and achieving long-term objectives. Staying hungry requires integrating discipline into all areas of life, including physical health, mental clarity, relationships, and skill development, because comprehensive self-regulation ensures that energy, focus, and motivation are consistently available to pursue goals with intensity, effectiveness, and resilience. Hunger guided by discipline also cultivates resilience because structured effort, routine, and preparation reduce vulnerability to setbacks, enhance the ability to recover from failure, and provide a foundation of stability from which progress can continue regardless of challenges. The person who remains hungry and disciplined understands that mastery, success, and impact are not the results of occasional effort, but of repeated, deliberate, and consistent action, because discipline converts desire into achievement and ambition into measurable results. Staying hungry means using discipline to bridge the gap between potential and execution, to turn vision into reality, and to ensure that relentless effort is strategically directed toward meaningful, long-term objectives rather than dissipated on transient or low-impact activities. Hunger reinforced by discipline transforms ordinary talent, ambition, and opportunity into extraordinary results because it aligns energy, intention, and action with a structured approach that maximizes efficiency, effectiveness, and momentum over time. The disciplined, hungry individual also calculates adaptability within structure, because discipline does not mean rigidity, but rather the capacity to maintain core principles while adjusting tactics, responding to feedback, and evolving strategies to maintain progress in changing circumstances. Staying hungry requires embracing the discomfort that comes with self-regulation, understanding that discipline is often forged in moments of resistance, challenge, and fatigue, and that enduring these moments strengthens resolve, sharpens focus, and reinforces the capacity for sustained achievement. Hunger guided by discipline produces clarity, focus, and momentum, because it eliminates indecision, reduces wasted energy, and channels relentless drive into consistent, high-impact action, ensuring that every step taken contributes meaningfully to the ultimate vision. The person who remains hungry with discipline integrates self-control, intentional action, and structured routines into a lifestyle that supports continuous growth, achievement, and fulfillment, because the combination of desire and consistent practice transforms potential into reality, effort into accomplishment, and ambition into lasting impact. Staying hungry is therefore inseparable from cultivating discipline, because it is the foundation upon which hunger becomes effective, sustainable, and extraordinary, ensuring that relentless desire is always aligned with purpose, executed with precision, and capable of producing transformative results. CHTER 15 Legacy is the ultimate expression of staying hungry, the enduring impact, influence, and mark you leave on the world, because hunger is not only about personal achievement, success, or fulfillment. It is about creating value, inspiring others, and contributing something meaningful that outlasts your immediate presence, proving that the pursuit of greatness is both a personal journey and a responsibility to those who come after you. Staying hungry requires recognizing that every choice, effort, and action contributes to a narrative far larger than yourself, and that the way you live, the work you produce, and the way you treat others collectively define the legacy you leave behind. Because ambition without purpose fades, effort without impact is fleeting, and achievement without contribution is incomplete. Hunger without consideration a legacy risks selfishness, short-sightedness, and transient gains, whereas hunger combined with a vision for lasting impact ensures that your energy is directed toward meaningful pursuits, shaping a life that resonates beyond immediate results and individual success. The person who remains hungry understands that legacy begins with intentionality, the conscious decision to align daily actions, goals, and habits with values, principles, and aspirations that matter not only in the present but in the long term, because enduring influence is cultivated, not accidental. Staying hungry means thinking beyond personal gratification, status, or recognition, understanding that the mark you leave on others, the knowledge, inspiration, and example you provide, can multiply impact exponentially, extending the reach of your hunger far beyond your own achievements. Hunger fueled by the desire to create a legacy instills purpose, persistence, and responsibility, because every action is reframed as a building block in the architecture of your enduring contribution, ensuring that challenges, setbacks, and sacrifices are meaningful rather than arbitrary. The legacy-driven, hungry person invests in growth, not only for themselves but also for others, mentoring, teaching, and lifting those around them, understanding that the truest measure of success is the positive, lasting change you catalyze in lives, systems, and communities. Staying hungry requires reflection, because intentional contemplation of values, priorities, and impact clarifies purpose, sharpens focus, and guides decisions, ensuring that every effort contributes to something greater than immediate results or personal gain, and that the energy of hunger is channeled into significance, not mere activity. Hunger combined with legacy thinking fosters resilience and perseverance, because when setbacks, criticism, or obstacles arise, the individual who is motivated by enduring impact maintains perspective, drawing strength from the knowledge that their efforts contribute to a broader mission, extending influence beyond personal recognition or immediate outcomes. The person who remains hungry with legacy in mind prioritizes actions with long-term value, creates systems and habits that reinforce meaningful progress, and consistently evaluates whether their pursuits contribute to enduring impact. Because legacy requires intentional alignment of effort, purpose, and vision over time. Staying hungry also means embracing responsibility, accountability, and ethical conduct, because the imprint you leave is not merely measured by results, but by integrity, influence, and the example set for others, ensuring that ambition is not hollow, effort is not selfish, and success is not fleeting. Hunger fueled by legacy inspires strategic thinking, planning, and execution, because achieving enduring impact demands more than sporadic effort or short-term gains. It requires sustained focus, deliberate action, and alignment of every decision with the broader narrative you aim to create. The legacy-driven, hungry individual cultivates relationships, invests in community, and contributes knowledge, skills, and resources, understanding that influence is amplified through connection, collaboration, and mentorship, and that the true power of hunger lies not only in what is achieved personally, but in what is enabled in others. Staying hungry requires vision, because a clear sense of the future you want to shape informs priorities, decisions, and strategies, ensuring that every pursuit, challenge, and risk undertaken contributes to something greater than immediate satisfaction, financial gain, or transient recognition. Hunger guided by legacy integrates purpose with action, ambition with service, and desire with responsibility, producing a life that is remarkable not only for accomplishments, but also for the meaning, influence, and inspiration it generates for others. The person who remains hungry with legacy thinking acts with intentionality, courage, and foresight, recognizing that the impact of their life is measured not only by personal achievement, but by the opportunities created, the people empowered, and the transformation effected in their sphere of influence, leaving a footprint that endures beyond their presence. Staying hungry means cultivating awareness of mortality, time, and opportunity, because the finite nature of life magnifies the importance of every choice, action, and effort, compelling the individual to focus on contributions that matter, value creation that lasts, and influence that reverberates across generations. Hunger fueled by legacy ensures that ambition is purposeful, effort is meaningful, and success is profound, because it transcends self-interest, short-term satisfaction, and immediate reward, transforming relentless desire into a force for enduring good, impact, and inspiration. The legacy-driven, hungry person remains disciplined, focused, and resilient, because sustaining influence, building systems, and creating lasting results requires perseverance through challenges, strategic planning, and unwavering commitment, proving that the pursuit of greatness is a marathon, not a sprint, and that true success is measured by the lives touched, the values upheld, and the change enacted. Staying hungry with legacy in mind is the ultimate culmination of all principles of hunger: persistence, focus, adaptability, gratitude, confidence, vision, mindset, and discipline, because it unites every effort, skill, and lesson learned into a coherent, meaningful, and enduring contribution that leaves the world better than it was found, ensuring that your hunger, energy, and ambition resonate beyond yourself, transforming personal pursuit into timeless impact. Hunger guided by legacy creates purpose-driven action, resilience under pressure, and meaningful achievement because it transforms desire into influence, effort into significance, and ambition into an enduring narrative of contribution, excellence, and inspiration that defines not only the life lived, but the life remembered.